Good evening, everyone. How are you today? Can you believe it?
Uh,
It's episode 6, and we are with Miss Bonnie tonight. I just want to take the opportunity tonight to say thank you for JC and Iggy and the Sports Affiliation for giving us this platform and for allowing us to give a voice for our queens every single Tuesday night at 9:30. And I'm having my co-host Wendy. She have a couple words to say. Go ahead,
yes,
Wendy.
thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. We've been trying to do like a positive message every week at the beginning of the show. But what I thought today, I'm like, hey, I wonder what today is. Because, there's every day is some sort of national pizza day, national whatever day. So here's the things that are today. There was like 17 of them. So I tried to pick and choose, nothing political, nothing negative or anything like that. So the first one is National Clean Your Virtual Desktop Day. You're supposed to clean out all your files, organize things, let it go, let it go. If you've got stuff that you don't use, you're supposed to get rid of it. Today is National Pasta Day. Okay, who knew? National Pasta Day today. So I don't eat pasta. I can't, but if you want to celebrate it, today's National Pasta Day. It is National Pay Back Your Friend Day. So if you owe anyone money, today is the day you get your Cash App out, you get your phone out, send it out, pay them off. You know what? If it has taken your friends this long that they need a holiday to pay you back, probably not going to pay back. But today's the day. So the serious one that I thought really was touching today is Women in Military Service for America Memorial Anniversary. So women officially joined the U.S. military during the last 2 years of World War I. So that is actually a really cool day. And then also, what I'd like to end on is National Mulligan Day. If at first you don't succeed, you'll get another crack at it. All right, introduce our
That's
guest.
nice, Wendy. Thank you for their service. We appreciate that. Hi, Miss Bonnie. How are you tonight?
I'm good, Carla. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How's everything?
Everything's fine. It was a long day, but other than that, everything's kind of fine.
Trust me, we all are having a long day today. We were talking about it, but we're gonna have so much fun, right?
Yes, we
You know,
did.
I feel really bad because I didn't have a horrible day today. I'm glad I didn't have a horrible day. But I was actually off today. I'm normally not off on Tuesdays. Thursday is my day off. So my boss asked me to change, and when the boss says, "Hey, do you mind?" You're going to do it. So actually, I'm just so happy that Bonnie Robinson, Queen
Yeah.
Bee, is here. We did get to meet in Canton, and we are going to talk about that tonight, hopefully. Thank you for being here tonight. So, Carla, take it away.
Well, thank you for
Yes,
having me.
thank you for being here. We appreciate you being here tonight. So we're gonna talk a little bit about, like Wendy said, we're gonna talk a little bit about fantasy football, about your journey. I was reading your bio, 25 plus years of fantasy football veteran. Can you care of sharing that? I'm so interested in, you know, in like learning more about your 25 plus years about that. Tell me more about your football, like fantasy football journey, and what led you into it.
Well, I was an avid NFL fan, but never knew anything about fantasy football. And I was asked to be a last minute fill in for
Marcy.
this league with a local like work league type thing. And had no idea what I was doing. And I really kind of struggled at first, but but I tried. I'm a student of the game and learn everything I could about fantasy football and what kind of players should I look for working the waiver wire. And so that first year I started off in last place and was able to finish in fifth. So And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm a competitive person, and I'm like, and I like football anyway. So I'm like, this is really fun, I think I could get better at this, So of course I had to try again. And the very next year, which I believe was 1987, I want to say,
Wow.
it, in a different league, I drafted Terrell Owens, #1 overall. It was 97 or 98. And I ended up winning the whole thing. So I won my first league, my second year. I only in one league the first year and 2 leagues the second year. So and then after that, forget it.
They were all sorry that they
Munster.
invited you.
Made a Munster out of me. That's it. And no going back. So
The rest is history. That's fantastic.
Did you have like a family background in football, or you just went into like football from like friends or
more from friends? I used to watch college football with one of my girlfriend's fathers. He would always watch college football on Saturdays, and if we weren't doing anything or if it was raining outside, he'd sit there and he'd say, and I knew nothing about college football back then, and he'd say, what team's going to win and what's the points going to be, and and he'd ask me questions like that, and that sort of got me into football, and and so that's how I learned a little bit about football, and then I started watching the NFL after that. And
nice.
Probably, I was pretty big fan of it, but I've been much more of a fan of it since fantasy football, to be honest. So
it's definitely changed the game, hasn't it? The whole fantasy thing. I honestly think it saved the NFL. I mean, honestly. Who's your team?
The Eagles, Philadelphia Eagles. I'm a New Jersey transplant.
Okay.
Yeah. So I currently live in the mountains of Western North Carolina, but I'm originally from New Jersey. So that's how I started. And I lived like an hour outside of Philadelphia in Atlantic City. So and my family, like my dad and my brother, they're all Giants fans, and so we used to not get along very well sometimes during the football season. My dad, rest his soul, would always say, "How the hell are you Eagles fan?"
Yeah, but you know what? Your Eagles are pretty damn good, and that New York football team's not so great.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't give him a hard time about it anymore. But
yeah, he's watching though, right? He's watching.
Yeah.
What did you think about them losing though? I mean, they were doing great, and then they just lost this weekend.
Oh yeah.
I'm not too worried about it. I think a lot of teams like that always have that one let down game, and then I think they go back and regroup, and it's kind of humbling, and because sometimes I wouldn't say it was a pushover game, but sometimes like if you're facing a team that's really bad, like you just think you have
it was shocking to me.
Yeah, so I think that's just kind of what happened a little bit, but I think they're going to regroup and be fine. Really do. So
I mean,
the
signed Julio Jones today too.
Oh, Julio.
Wendi, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I just since we were talking about that, I saw that they signed Julio Jones. How do you feel about that?
I think it's just another body for them.
Yeah.
Because Quez Watkins is on IR, and so I think it's just another body just in case, and in case they have some kind of injury or something, they'll have somebody there. But I mean, the last time he played, he had like, I don't know, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns or something. So I don't think he's gonna be much of a factor, or he's gonna take away targets from AJ Brown or Goddard or Devonta Smith at all.
God, Smith is killing me though. Smith is killing me right now.
Yeah, well, the squeaky wheel got the grease. Is it AJ Brown? And but I think that should even out some. I have Devonta Smith in one of my leagues too, and I was like, no.
Yeah. How many leagues are you
But I need a
in?
league now. I'm in 5. I used to be in more, but I cut them down. It's
It's a
well,
lot.
I mean, of course, they have like a ton of best balls and stuff like that going on. But
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as leagues where you have to set a lineup, I'm in 5, 2 dynasties and 3 redrafts. But that's a good amount for me to where, because for one thing, I'm very competitive and I don't like to half-ass anything. So I don't like when I'm in more leagues and I can't pay attention to them all, or I miss something because, on waivers or something, or who knows, because I think you're doing a disservice to your league mates when you spread yourself out too thin.
Yep.
So, and like I said, if
You
I
are
don't
a
want,
good league
I'm
mate.
very,
I played in leagues with you, and you're an excellent league mate, by the way.
oh, thanks. Yeah. So that's, yeah. If for some reason, if my team's not doing well or whatever, I always set a lineup. I mean, because people are
Yeah.
counting on you to do that, so.
Well, I
Hey-hoo.
do. Yeah, I kind of want to talk a little bit. We have to talk about the expo because the expo was just so epic for me. So I want to know, was that your first time at the expo?
It was, and
Oh, nice.
it was a whirlwind, put it lightly. It was just, I just felt like, oh, I got to go talk to that person. I'd be talking to somebody and be like, wait, I got to go talk to them real quick. And it was just,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of people I missed, and there's some people that I did meet but didn't really get a chance to talk with. And I remember Saturday night we were at that party on the concourse kind of thing, and it was just like talking to some people and carry really a conversation with them because I was just so drained, and I feel so bad because I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. But
Did
it's
you meet
crazy.
Did you meet Carla
Did
at
you
the
ask something?
expo? Did you meet Carla? Did you meet
No.
Carla at the expo? Okay. Yeah, so definitely, and I agree with
That's what I'm
everything that you
saying. There's a
just said. Yeah.
lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that I
just nuts. I
missed.
probably met a third of the people, maybe a third of the people. And I just think that time clock management is like my clock management was worse than Mike McCarthy. Okay. It was just really bad. And, I can't wait. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with you, but we did get to talk a little bit. So, next year that all is going to change because all these game changers got to get together for a little party.
Yeah,
I stayed in one place. I honestly stayed in one place. I didn't move. People were
Oh,
crossing.
no.
I couldn't
So
move because of people coming across, and we were talking. It was insane. But I loved
it
every single
was.
minute. I loved
Well,
every single minute.
now,
it was a
how did
lot of
you?
fun, though. Really
Oh man,
was.
I can't wait to
Yes,
go again.
love
I
it.
can't wait to go
Yes.
Yeah.
again. You were at draft night out.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that per se. I was there to see the friends that I was with because I drafted in the Queen's Classic. So
Oh yes, that's my next
yeah,
question.
the times overlapped a little bit, so I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
draft in
yeah.
the draft night out, but I went and hung with everybody and
Yeah,
watched.
I had to leave early. I came in and watched the Queen's Classic for a little bit, and then I had to leave to go to draft night out. So it's kind of like a festival, a concert. When you go, you've got to pick and choose and go see the bands that you want and certain sets. But how did you get invited to the Queen's Classic? Like, does Bob Long show up at your door, knocking on your door, going, "Hey, Bonnie, you're in the Queen's Classic"? Kind of like the Hall of Fame people, or what?
I wish it was that elaborate, but no. He just messaged me. He sent me a direct message, and I was actually a last minute replacement.
Okay.
So really honored and lucky to even
Oh
be
yeah, how
invited. And of course,
exciting to be with all the. I mean, there were some rock stars there. I was very intimidated being in that room.
yeah, it's a great group, a highly competitive group, and it's you're talking about rock stars. I'd be putting players in my queue, and they'd all be gone with my pick, and I'm like,
Yeah, how could you
and
do
then
that
they
to
took
me?
it.
I
It was
thought
a
we were
90.
friends.
Yeah. Um, and then I had a 90-second clock, and then I guess the girls were getting bored or whatever, and they're like, well, let's speed this up. And we went down to a 30-second clock.
Were you like
That was
hyperventilating?
good. Yeah.
I would have needed
I
like
think
the
I'm
little
having
fan.
yeah. Like, so, but oh God. And that
How's your
league I
team? How's
am
your team
not
doing?
doing well.
How's your team doing that you drafted at the?
It's doing horribly.
Oh no!
Horribly. I I drafted Chubb. Who's out.
Yeah.
Najee Harris. Who was it? There's a couple other people that were knocked out. Let's see. Both my quarterbacks were knocked out. I have Deshaun Watson and Daniel Jones, and I picked up somebody. I don't even. Not doing well at all. Not doing well. And you want to talk about competitive? You can't even get anybody off of waivers because
Yeah.
these people are
JC is
spending
crying for
50%.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah. JC is he loved Nick Chubb. He hated losing him. So.
He was my flag plant this year, and it looked like a pretty good flag plant. If that at first, oh, God. So, but no, I'm doing horrible in that league. But between injuries and it's a 14-person league too, so waivers in those kind of leagues are very, very shallow.
Can you trade in that? Are you able to trade?
You can. I tried to trade with Lisa Ann. I tried to she needed a wide receiver and I needed a running back, but she wouldn't pull the trigger. I think she was really close on it, and she even said, "Oh, that's a fair trade." But she was waiting on Kamara to come back from his suspension. She's like, maybe we'll revisit this when Kamara comes back. Well, we didn't revisit it because the player I was trying to trade her was Jahan Dotson. And at the time, she was like, ooh, that's a good player, but now it's like, what's Jahan Dotson worth it?
I know. It's
so
not
I'm
been
like,
good.
oh, you had done that trade.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you, Bob Lung was on the show last week, and he said that he is open to letting that Queen's Classic grow the way that the men's is, because they've got several different leagues or whatever. It's just different divisions or something. So he's open to that, and that is like really exciting for the women of fantasy football. And you're one of the pioneers, man.
I wish I was putting in a better showing, but it's so much fun. It was so fun to draft with all these people that you talk to all the time, and that you look up to, and and it was, I was a little like, because they put us there with a screen where everybody could see it and everybody was watching,
Yeah.
But being a veteran, I wasn't really that nervous about it. But when it was like, your targeting was gone and your picks up, and now they went down to a 30-second clock. I was like,
I'd have been having anxiety.
Leave my white flag. So, and then I started taking chances on like upside players, because I'm like, okay, I'm not getting, and of course the falling through, so like Sky Moore, I just dropped him today.
I know. Oh yeah. He's dead to me.
I'm like, I need some upside.
Oh, that's because you're a Kansas City fan, Carla.
I love Sky Moore.
That's why you love Sky Moore.
He's really good. He's really good.
She's a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
I'm a Chiefs fan.
Okay.
I'm a Mahomes fan.
Yeah, but the problem though is that they're spreading the ball around so much. It's almost like you can play a wide receiver.
Yes, I agree.
For fantasy,
Yeah, I agree. It's not just for one person. They're spreading it around more. So I'm getting your attention here.
I think Rasheed Rice might emerge, I think, as fantasy viable on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like him.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So what's the most difficult part about being a woman of fantasy football for you, Miss Bonnie?
I feel like an echo chamber, but just getting the respect from the men, that we know what we're talking about, and that we know the game just as well as they do. And and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've been pretty lucky not to get, the disrespect like some women do, but then I try not to put really hot takey things out there, or or when I was doing my start sit column, it was like, hey, these are not the normal players that everybody else is pumping up. Like, to play Christian McCaffrey and stuff like that. I'm talking about because of the circumstances, injuries or whatever. These are the players I think could do well this week. And I've done very well with that. And, I even had, when the females that I met at the expo, Kelly Dickerson said, "Hey, you helped me win a lot of money this year." So,
Right.
but I make sure they know it's either circumstances why I'm recommending them, or it's a gut. And I've always had something really instinctual about being able to pick players and stuff like that. So, so I don't have it as much as I do, but anytime, somebody says something, or I remember some guy said something sometime, it wasn't too harsh, but like, this is the first time you're ever interacting with me, and that's the first thing you're going to say to me. Is that really the impression you want to make? And he was like,
Yes.
"Oh, sorry." And then ever since then, he started following me, and we're fine. But I just
sometimes people just have to be told, hey, this isn't cool, and I would say that there's a lot more good people out there than bad, but I have seen, some of the bad, but I think you handled that pretty well then.
So do you interact?
No, either it depends on like if you can tell the burner account where it's somebody who has 0 follower or 3 followers and following 6 or something. I don't give them time of day, because you're just fueling the fire.
Oh.
You're making them, that's what they want out of you. They want you to get upset and argue. So, and then people who tweet that stuff, you're giving them what they want. So, so somebody like that, I won't even respond to, So
it's better not to interact sometimes, just block and move on.
Yeah. Don't take it personally, because if they don't, and then the thing is too, if they don't get a response from you, they're probably going to leave you alone, and they're going to move on to the next person. So, it's just, I hate that there's so much sexism going on, but
I agree. I totally agree with you.
It's been a male dominated field for so long, fantasy football, but it's there, but there's so many men that do support us so well.
Oh, yes,
one of them
absolutely.
being Joshua Hudson.
Their mom is a woman, so I don't get it. Like, mom is a woman.
Oh, I know. That's what I want to say to these guys. Think about what you're saying to this female. Would you want them talking to your wife, wife, mother, sister, like that, girlfriend?
I agree.
If you don't want them talking to those people like that, then why are you doing it to somebody else?
Yeah. And Joshua Hudson is a national treasure. I mean, he is, and you know what? Between him, JC, Iggy, all of these people at the sports affiliation, that's why I started hanging out with these guys, is because they made me feel included. They made me feel wanted. I'm nobody. I'm not an analyst. I'm nothing like that, but they didn't care, so that's good to hear. And I'm glad that you brought Josh up. So I second that motion.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know anything about sports. Look at me.
Hey, we're just here having fun talking to our friend Bonnie, man.
I agree. We love you too, JC. Thank you.
So, we do have to, it is October. I'm wearing my pink shirt and my pink glasses today. So I do want to talk about your breast cancer journey. It's something that, we appreciate that you even want to share that with everyone, because it's important that, people know how you found out, how you are now, because people care, So can you tell us how that kind of all came about?
Yeah. So I don't normally give out my age, but I am 58 years old. When I was 54, my doctor had been, like not pressuring, but, kind of like, you need to go get a mammogram. Have you ever had a mammogram? You need to go get a mammogram. And I just kept putting it off. But then in 2019, something just told me, maybe you should go get this mammogram. And I went, and sure enough, they found a lump, and a biopsy confirmed it was cancer. And I had to have a lumpectomy, but luckily my mass was so small and it was detected so early that I was able to avoid chemo and radiation. So I'm very, very thankful for that. And
Absolutely.
I have been now 4 years cancer free. So
Nice.
Yeah, that's so did you feel anything? You didn't feel a lump? You just said, "Hey, I better get in."
no, in fact, they said that it was so small. It was only 4 millimeters. They said that you wouldn't have even felt this if you gave yourself a
Oh.
self-examination. They said that, it was just because the mammogram picked it up. So
So that's what we're
yeah.
telling you, ladies.
Yeah.
Mammograms.
Oh, early
Yes.
detection. Yeah. Because
It's a
like I
game
said,
changer. It's serious, So we appreciate you sharing that story with us. And I had something happen to me. I guess it was last year, and I had to have a biopsy, and that's the most terrifying thing. Waiting for that, not knowing what it is. I mean, mine worked out okay, but I do go. I go every year. I go every year. I mean, and I'm 57. I don't mind telling people. So I probably go once a year for the last, 10 years, 15 years. I just try to, preventative maintenance for myself. So, thank you for letting people know that, even if you don't feel something, you should still be at after a certain age. I mean, obviously we're not doctors, talk to your doctor, but when your doctor says, hey, you're at that age.
I do think most recommend by 50 at least, you should at least start. But I think most were recommended even before then, but definitely by 50.
Yes.
And like I said, I was 54 before I had my first, but something was just telling me I need to go. Let's go do it. And I was actually a little, even though I don't know it was intuition or whatever, I was still shocked when it came back as positive,
Yeah.
So, and it's scary. And I still had to have surgery. It wasn't, it was a slight lumpectomy or whatever, but still I did have to have surgery, and it was scary, and I started,
Yeah.
my life was starting to flash before me. It was like, kind of, I was like,
I know it's like you hear that C word and that's just like automatically what you think, but
oh
I mean
yeah,
it goes to show, it goes to show. I mean
Beautiful.
there are
Yeah.
success stories, and thank goodness you had that intuition. So
And thank you for
so
sharing. That's really, really important. Both of you, thank you for sharing that. I need to ask you something. What's NASCAR beat writer?
it's just it's a
I
newspaper
know
reporter.
NASCAR, yes, but the beat
It's
writer,
just
what
a
is
newspaper reporter who is assigned to go to NASCAR races and cover the races. So I used to go
yes?
around, and I used to get pit passes and pit crew passes and victory circle passes and stuff like that. And I used to go and walk around where the drivers are and interview them and talk to them and take pictures with them and this and that. And yeah, it was
Oh my God,
fun.
that's
okay, like
amazing.
I am a huge NASCAR
Wow,
fan.
thank you so much
Okay,
for sharing.
so can you tell me? I mean, who was your favorite guy? Like, who was cool?
Yes.
Dale Earnhardt Sr. was the
Oh,
coolest.
oh yeah, yeah. I'll bet.
And he
I'll
was
bet.
my guy. He was my
The
guy.
Intimidator. The
You have to
Intimidator.
share some pictures if you have pictures on Twitter and
Yeah, put
tag
some
us with
stuff on
them
there.
right
Yeah,
now.
so you
We
like
can't
like
wait.
Yeah, I've got some.
oh, that is
But
so cool.
and it's funny because I used to work in Atlantic City too, and I've met like celebrities before, but I guess I had a little crush on Dale because he I don't remember which race this was because this guy, we're going back 20 years now, but he had wrecked and he was coming down the stands like right behind where I was sitting. He was coming down the stairs right near me. I'm like, and this is the first time. This is before I started getting the pit crew passes and all that. And he was carrying his daughter, who was like 3. I mean, she's an adult now. And I said, Mr. Earnhardt, Mr. Earnhardt, I called him Mr. And he said, yes. I said, can I get a picture with your daughter? And you could tell he wasn't really happy because he just got, knocked out of the race. And he's like, yeah, but hurry. I'm on my way out of town. We're going to go on a little vacation. And he wouldn't stop walking. So I'm like trying to get the picture of him backing up. Well, so I get a picture and he kind of brushes by and keeps walking. I get home, and back then I had to get the film developed.
Yeah.
So I get it developed, and I got a great picture of his daughter with his head cut off. So he's like, they're carrying the daughter, and this is him, and with the, So I was so
that's funny.
And I didn't tell you about the part about my knees were like getting weak and shaky.
Oh yeah.
I guess I had a crush on Dale, So funny. And I've never been like that with other celebrities. It was so
And that was
bad.
a once in a lifetime opportunity, and you cut his head off on the picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
Well,
So
how cool is
luckily,
that? How did
that
you
is
get
super
this
cool.
gig?
I think
How
I
did
probably
you-
have that picture around here somewhere. But luckily, like I said, I started getting the press passes, the bigger passes and stuff like that. So I was able to meet him several times after that and get plenty of pictures of him.
Oh, good.
But at the time I didn't know that. And I was like, oh my God, my one time to get a, close up picture of him. And
Did you ever tell him that?
Yeah. Did you tell him?
Did you ever tell him that?
no, I didn't. No, because he was
You should
that's
have.
funny because but see, Teresa used to sit with him all the time, when they were sitting around waiting for the race to get ready. And it's like, I don't want to bring that up in front of her,
Yeah.
I mean, she probably already knew that, there's plenty of women who, thought her husband was, the shit.
Yeah.
How did you ever get from like NASCAR to fantasy football? I just like reading your bio from NASCAR. I know like NASCAR, the like racing and stuff like that, and I was reading like NASCAR and then fantasy football. It didn't like click too much to me. How did this happen? Were you like in both together, or did they both started together, or were you doing one at a time? How
No,
did
I was really the NASCAR came first. That was back let's see, that was like the 90s. Yeah, it was in the 90s. Of course, Dale was killed in what, 2001. So, and I had stopped covering NASCAR right before. Well, I stopped doing newspaper work. I'm a former editor and reporter for newspaper too. So,
Hey, girl.
but I just happened to like NASCAR at the time. And so at the time, the editor of the paper said, "You want to go cover NASCAR?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And so we get passes and stuff. And victory circle passes were the best.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah. So, but I'll share some pictures. But but no. Then what happened was I got laid off from the newspaper in 2008 when the little recession hit a little bit.
Mhm.
So that's how come I'm not writing for the paper anymore. And then now I own my own business. I sell antiques and collectibles, mostly online.
nice.
But sometimes I do shows and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, super cool. So, do you still watch NASCAR?
No, NASCAR to me.
I don't watch too much either. I used to.
I tried following Junior for a while, but after Dale was gone, it just hadn't been the same for me.
Dude,
and then of
I
course,
cried. I cried my ass
I
off
cried.
when that happened.
Oh,
Sat
I
there
cried.
bawling.
Yeah.
When
And the thing too
Schumacher
is,
had the accident, I stopped watching. I
yeah,
was a fan of Michael Schumacher. Yeah.
yeah. I tried to, like I said, I tried to watch Dale, but then they started, you know, changing a lot of rules, like with the restrictor plates and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And it's just the racing became totally different. I loved it when it was so more exciting when they used to bump each other. Like Dale was always notorious for that. And now like they don't really do that anymore. And it's just like the restrictor plate keeps people from being able to go actually too fast.
Mhm.
Kind of.
Right.
But that makes it less competitive, and like everybody's like, it just, I don't know. It just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same after Dale was gone. So
Yeah.
Oh, they lost a lot of fans, definitely. I mean, it's just a terrible accident. But I'm a huge NASCAR fan. I've been to several races. I've met some of the drivers. My driver was Jeff Gordon. I loved him. had such a crush on him.
Jeff
I
Gordon.
mean, yeah, he was my guy. But I didn't ever get to meet him. But I met Kevin Harvick one time, and I had a shirt on that said Kyle Busch fans are douchebags.
Oh.
And it was shaped like a douchebag. And I'm talking to Kevin Harvick, not even realizing I have this shirt on because I'm so starstruck. And he leans over, he goes, "I like your shirt." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." It was so funny, but you know what? On your bio too, I'm glad Carla brought that up. What about this whole darts thing? You were a competitive dart player?
Yeah, I used to throw darts. Was in a local league, but we used to travel to tournaments, regional, statewide, regional. Went to two national tournaments out in Vegas.
That's
Nice.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
yeah. So that was
Is there
fun.
anything you can't do? Do
I
you
know, right?
cook and you bake and all that stuff?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff I can't do.
Not what we see in your bio.
Sing. Cannot sing.
Oh, we have to hear so we can believe.
No. My voice sounds hoarse tonight too, so it sounds even worse.
Did you go to the
It sounds
karaoke
beautiful.
thing? Did you go to karaoke at the expo?
No, I left a little bit earlier. Did you go to that?
You
No,
should stay next year,
yeah,
both of you. You
I'm
should
staying
stay.
next year. I am
Yes.
staying until Monday next year. Mistakes
It's
were
so
made.
much fun. It's so much fun. So much fun. You should stay.
I mean, I'm
both
not
of
going
you.
to sing or anything, but I want
I
to
didn't
go.
sing, but it's fun. It's really fun. I didn't
There's
sing
lots of
either,
people
but
in this
like,
industry.
yeah, lots of people were singing, having fun, dancing, and it was so much fun to watch, and it was enjoyable. You should stay.
Oh yeah, I'm
Is
going to.
Yeah.
I was upset because I
Jake
missed.
Trowbridge there?
I don't
Do you know
know
what I'm talking
if he. I'm not sure.
I
He
don't
is
know. I don't know,
hilarious.
like everyone. Doug might know, but I don't know everyone yet.
Wendy, do you know who I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about, but I had to leave. My daughter was with me and she had to go to work. So we left out early. I didn't get to do most of the panels. I went to the one in the morning
Survivor.
with the guys, because my bestie was there. I had to go see Bob Harris. And then I went to Scott Fish thing. And after that, I had to leave. So I didn't even get to see the ladies. And I'm like, this is not happening next year. I'm staying until Monday next year.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with you. You should.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say that if you really want to experience the expo to its fullest, that you need to get there
Yes.
on Thursday and not leave it until Monday.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to swing that just yet, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yes, the first year I didn't go. We didn't go. We didn't come on Thursday, and we left earlier. But last year we came earlier and we left like after Monday. It was the best experience ever. We had so much fun. It
It
was
was a lot of fun.
raining. We were running under the rain. We had
Oh
so much
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Oh my
Did
God.
you
It
did you
was,
Yeah.
fly, Bonnie? You flew,
no, we
right?
drove
No,
No, I
I
home.
know. Yeah,
drove.
Carla. Yeah, you flew. Didn't you come with some of the other women in the fantasy football industry here?
I stayed with some other ladies, but we didn't travel together because we're from all over the
Okay,
country.
gotcha.
But I stayed
See,
with Roxanne and Hope
Oh,
Myers. Y'all might know her as High
yeah,
Hopes.
yeah. She was here a
And
couple weeks ago.
yeah,
yes.
and because
All
she
the
lives in
queens.
Florida, Roxanne lives in Denver, and then there was a girl Kelly who's from New
Roxanne and
England
Kelly
somewhere.
and Hope, they were all on the show.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you know Kelly. This was Kelly Dickerson.
Oh yeah, we
Oh,
Um,
haven't had Kelly on yet.
not yet.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's isn't it something? Grandma is her name.
yeah.
On
Fantasy
Twitter.
Grandma.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about her. I think I actually did get to talk to her just a little bit. So,
Well,
um
if you were with me a lot, so and she was with me a lot, so you probably did get to talk to her.
yeah,
So
cuz we
because
I didn't talk to you guys for a little bit because we got done drafting early at draft night out, so I was able to walk around and talk to some people and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. Oh, and what about the flag football game? You actually got the pictures for me that were the best pictures of me with Des Bryant. Thank you for that.
you're welcome. Yeah.
So, Miss Bonnie, I see that your name is Fantasy Queen Bee. Is there a story behind
hmm
Fantasy Queen Bee? Is it because of being inaugural member of Queen Classic League, or is there another story
No,
for
no.
that?
I've had this. I had nickname, moniker, whatever you want to call it, for about let's see, 4 years now. A league mate started calling me the queen, the queen, the queen, the queen, the queen. And so I wanted something related to fantasy. So I'll just call myself the fantasy queen and the B there for Bonnie. But a lot of people
Nice.
think that's B for BEE, like a bumblebee. But it's
Yeah.
not
Yes,
really. It's,
Queen Bee.
yeah. But people call me queen bee, bumblebee, whatever. I don't care. It's, you know,
But how
That's
about the Queen Classic League? Can you tell us a little bit
what about
about
it?
being the inaugural member of Queen Classic League?
Yeah, I was talking about that later, earlier. That's that league. It's the 14 team league where I lost Nick Chubb and
yeah.
both my quarterbacks and another running back. And I don't even know who
You were the
else. And
inaugural member
I'm
for it,
doing
right?
terribly. Yeah,
You're trying to forget about it
unfortunately.
is what's happening, right?
Oh, yeah. Carla, hush. Don't bring that up again. Ask me about the leagues I'm winning.
I thought that's why you had your name. So that's why I'm bringing it back
No,
Hey,
up.
no, no, no.
you're
Like I
Battle of
said,
the Sexes,
that's
right?
not a self. It was given
Yes.
to me. I'm sorry, what?
Bonnie, you're in Battle of the Sexes, aren't you?
Yeah,
In the best
I'm in
ball?
that.
How are you doing in that?
I think I'm like in the middle of the pack in that.
What division are you
I don't
in?
know.
I
I
can't.
don't even remember to tell you the
Okay,
truth.
I'll have to hop
I
in
hear a
there. I've
lot
been
of
trying to.
attention to the best balls. You know, I know I'm doing really well in the lightning round one.
Oh,
But
I only won one game in that, and it was this week. I
I'm in
haven't won
first
any
place,
in
and
that.
I'm in first place in my division in that.
Good for
I know
you.
that. Let's see. Yeah, and then I'm in. What am I in? The Battle of the Sexes.
Are you in
And
the Scott Fish Bowl?
yeah, let's not talk about that either.
Oh,
Oh,
What
what
happened to
happened?
Indy?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Maybe the Wi-Fi, her Wi-Fi just got lost. So,
Yeah.
oh, she's back.
She's back. It
my
was quick.
fish team that I hit a button on my
It just happened.
popped me out.
I know.
My team
Maybe your
sucks so
Wi-Fi.
bad.
I think this is me talking more about the, the Queen Classic League. That's why.
No more Queen's Classic League. No. We're not talking about that.
That's why.
That's funny.
Maybe
my
I should
God.
change my name to Not a Queen Bee.
Yeah.
I know, right? Not the Fantasy Queen Bee anymore.
Well, it's funny because I just bought a car. Well, it's been a couple months now, but it's a super bee, I guess you would call it, because it's got the little bee on the side.
Really?
It's a Dodge Challenger. And somebody asked me today. They just said, "Hey, what's your car's name?" And I'm like, I don't really have a name for it yet. And you know what they said? They go, "Why don't you call it Queen Bee?" And I'm like, "What the hell? She's going to be on our show tonight. Maybe I'm going to call my car Queen Bee."
That's a nice one.
I'm going to send you a picture. It's badass, man. You're going to love it.
It was meant to be because it was such a coincidence.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Well, Bonnie, we appreciate you coming on and taking the time and sharing your story and how things have changed throughout the years in your life and just putting yourself out there. So why don't you tell everybody where they can find you? I know the one thing that we did not talk about, and I want to bring it up, make sure you say something about Fantasy Pros. You're creating content there?
I am, but I haven't this year because I've been on a bit of a hiatus because I just remodeled my kitchen. And
nice. It looks very beautiful, by the way. I was going to mention how pretty your cabinets are.
I like my countertops.
That is nice. Oh,
nice.
Yes. We need the tour.
Love it.
Look at that. Oh, that is nice.
See my countertops?
Yeah, beautiful.
But anyway. But yeah, I meant to start back up when the season started, even though I usually write over the summer and all. But we were still working on the kitchen, and I just didn't really have
with it, lady. Your stuff is good.
Oh, well, thank you. Have you actually read my stuff?
I have read your stuff. I did because I was like, I better know what I'm talking about if I'm talking to Queen Bee tonight.
So I just have back, I guess.
So then let everybody know where they can find you.
I've kind of been enjoying the break, to be honest, a little bit.
Good for you.
It's rough out there, with all these, So, but yeah, I probably need to write something soon. So, but yeah, I can be found at Fantasy Pros, on Twitter at Fantasy Queen Bee, just the single B, not BEE, not the buzzy insect.
Funny. So, basically, I'm not going to be here next week. I know everybody's just going to be heartbroken. Okay. I'm going to Austin, Texas to visit my daughter's best friend. She just had a baby.
Lucky.
So yeah, we're really excited to get to go. I've never been to Texas before, so it'll be an experience. So, but I would like to take this moment to ask everybody, if you're watching, if you could hop out of the chat, give us a like on the little video, subscribe to the Sports Affiliation channel if you haven't already. And Carla, why don't you let everyone know about our guest next week? Because I think you got an insider information with our guest.
Should I tell them who's coming next week?
Yes, please do.
He's the one who's not gonna give us any bio one day.
He's given a bio.
I know, right? So next week we're gonna have Doug Orth. If everyone can jump in and say hi to Doug Orth, and we're gonna have a little chat with him and maybe a little fight, him and I, next week.
Little fight.
Come and have fun. Yeah.
That's what you need to advertise. Everybody will come watch.
Doug is my boyfriend, so it's gonna be a little bit of fun.
Oh,
That's why
okay.
it's gonna be a little bit
If
of a
Doug
fight.
doesn't give a bio, Doug's going to be sleeping on the couch. You hear me, Doug?
Yes, sleeping on the couch. So that's why he doesn't want to give a bio. So it's like, you can find my bio anywhere. And then Wendy said, if Bob Harris can have a bio,
Doug Orth is doing a bio.
too.
Bob Harris gave me a bio. Doug Orth can have a bio. So,
Yes.
so once again, thank you everybody for joining us. Thanks again, Bonnie. I can't wait to spend more time with you next year. This is going to be something that I will, as long as you're up for it, I would love to at least have a dinner or drink, something with you.
I agree.
Oh, I love
We
it.
should
Yeah,
have
definitely.
all the dinner together. I agree.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah.
JC,
Thank you so much for having me. It was
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much
Come back
for-
anytime. You can come back anytime.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you
All
so
right. Bye,
much.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys.